Hi, I'm Kevin Kuchenbecker, Historic Preservation Officer for the City of Deadwood, and we're here with another moment in Deadwood's history. We're actually about 6 feet or 2 meters under the parking lot at Tin Lizzie's. This is the second video we've done on the archaeological investigation, and today I'm with Jana Morehouse with Quality Services, who is a principal investigator for the archaeological firm that is doing this investigation. Hi, Jana.
Hi.
So tell us a little bit about where we're standing.
Yeah, so we are in, as you mentioned, we are in what was known as Chinatown, and we know that from the historic maps. We are in lot 59 if you look at old historic maps in the city planning. And so we are, like you said, 6 feet down. And what we have next to us here is actually a flume. This is a wooden flume. These boards are from the 1800s, and there are historic photos of what we think could be the actual flume right here. There are not boards that would make it so that it's a sluice, but this would move water from the creek over somewhere else. We did reach the bottom.
There's wood
under here. Yep, there's wood at the bottom, and our goal is to expose more of it this direction. You can see here, this is actually one of the stakes to keep it into the ground, and we don't know how far down it goes. So our next goal is where we're standing here. We're going to keep taking that down. We're going to get under this guy and see if we can see how far it goes down.
And in archaeological terms, that's kind of pedestaling it, going down on each side, and then tunneling underneath so we can remove this.
Yep.
We've shown about 12 foot between uprights, and in fact, I don't know if the camera can pan down, but those are square nails that were found in association with this feature. We call it a feature, correct?
Yep.
And how many features have we uncovered so far in this 40-meter trench?
So in the 40-meter trench, we've recorded about 16 features. We have a couple more that could be features that we're still kind of uncovering as we go along. But right now we have 16 total, and that includes things from a floor over next door. In the next part to us, there's a wooden floor at the bottom of the 2 meters. And then it also includes things like we have a stake over there. We also have a concrete foundation.
And I know this morning and over the weekend there was a kind of a significant feature or artifact that was found next to the right of us. But we had found a food container earlier, which was some type of pottery, pretty good size. Yep. And then behind that...
behind that, one of the archaeologists was digging, and we started seeing some reeds. And they looked a little burned, but we couldn't figure out exactly where they were all coming from. As we started moving to the side of it, we did uncover a woven basket or food container bag. It is currently still in the ground. We have not gotten it out. We are working now on how to best preserve it so that we can see maybe what's in the bag eventually once it goes back to you guys and can go through it in a safe environment so it doesn't fall apart on us.
So that too will be pedestaled, and then maybe even a plaster around it to protect it, lift it out. We're not taking anything out of it, because there could be food still in that basket. A little windy here today. The tents are flapping. We do have a heater going in the back. It is winter archaeology. Last video we talked about part 1. This is part 2 of Chinatown. Part 1 is actually an archaeological investigation we did from 2001 to 2004. There were 4 summer field sessions there where we uncovered 250,000 artifacts. This is actually in preparation for a new hotel the developers are looking at. And as I mentioned before, archaeological investigation is a requirement here in Deadwood, a National Historic Landmark. So just wanted to clarify that a little bit for our viewing audience. So this is kind of called chasing a feature. We went down 1 meter down, came down 2 meters, we found some things. What appeared to be, different layers. Can you talk about the stratigraphy a little bit, or what we found as we've come down?
Yeah, behind our camera right now, we have the whole wall exposed, which is really nice. And that's something that in archaeology we don't get to do that often. And Deadwood is very unique because of the different layers that have happened here throughout time. And that includes things like a fire in the mid 1800s, and then the flood that happened, which was 18
That would have been May 19th, 1883.
1883. I was testing him. That's what I was doing.
And the fire you were talking about is September 26, 1879. And then on this site, it sounds like about 1885, there were some structures that were burned.
Yeah.
So that stratigraphy, or the profile of the wall, is actually, in layman's terms, like lasagna.
Yeah,
different layers
yep.
of things. Yep. So you can tell why we're up 6 feet is because here here's evidence of burn marks. It might be from the 79 fire. We've got silty sands from that 1883 flood, and then they just built on top of that, and that might have burnt down. And then we had some more fill, and it just keeps going, and then eventually you get a parking lot, and then you start down with some footings for a new building.
Correct.
But capturing this history is fascinating. Now, I know we're going to do another video on this particular investigation, but we found a variety of artifacts.
All kinds of artifacts. Right now, it is basically exactly what we expect, which means that we know historically that Chinatown was here and residences of Chinatown were here. And so we're finding things like Chinese porcelain. We also know from the maps that it was Chinese gambling halls. And we have found some game pieces, which are really interesting. And
a wooden domino.
Yeah, the domino. We have some marbles. Yep, some marbles. And so the pieces so far have all basically been what we've been expecting, which is really nice, except for one particular one that is from what we think is a Civil War insignia.
That was
it has little cannons that are crossed. It's about that big.
So as you can see, we take historic preservation to a new depth. We're going down about 6 feet. They're actually about 2.5 meters right now, which again, I'm more the standard instead of metric. We're about 7 feet where I'm standing underneath the parking lot, and we're still hitting artifacts and features at this level. We'll continue to take it down until we're out of those artifacts. And prior to the fall of 1875, when gold was discovered here in the Gulch. So very exciting, lots of new information. One of the things I do want to point out is in other parts of the town, as you go up Main Street, we're considered lower Main Street here, we don't have a physical map of this area until 1891 with the Sanborn fire insurance maps. The first ones were in 1885, and there's a set of 7 of them. But it wasn't until 1891 that we have a map of this area. And of course the first one being in 1885, and we're below that history. So other than a mineral survey from 1877 period that shows some flumes, some shafts, a couple cabins on the site, we really don't have evidence of what was here except through photographs, which are wonderful. But here we have tangible features
that can be mapped.
And help tell that early Deadwood history. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, and that's a wrap.